Yeah, I mean that's a good point that you give up right there, man. I think that's a perfect segue to the actual team that's actually winning this series. That is the New York Knickerbockers, man. Look, man. My hate watches have been pretty successful this year. I'm able to watch these playoffs pretty much breathing easy because LeBron James and Los Angeles Lakers are out there, and just watching how unpredictable this playoffs has been makes me even happy the Lakers got eliminated. They're not getting any of this playoff luck that's going on. We will rank our teams later remaining who we feel like have the best championship odds, but I really need the Knicks to go. I'm sorry. Like I said when Trey was on, I don't want to live in a world where the Knicks are going to the NBA Finals. And honestly, has nothing to do with the basketball team. Nothing. The actual basketball team has done nothing to me. There's really hasn't been a rivalry since the '90s. Both teams were bad in the 2000s. In the 2010s, they just never met in the playoffs. So the rivalry, when it was a Knicks Bulls rivalry, I was what at the when it ended. The last time they played in the playoffs, I had been 7 years old. It was like in '97 when they met in the first round, and the Bulls got them up out of here. Yeah, I was like 7 to 8 years old, and so I was actually nine. I'm old. I was nine the last time they played in the playoffs. So it's like whatever. But their fans are just like I respect it. I respect it that they love their team. We're Bears fans. We get excited when this team, looks good in a training camp practice. We start playing in the parade. So from that perspective, I understand where they're coming from. But we don't need New York Knicks fans in the NBA Finals. We just don't need it. But at the same time, I don't like the Boston Celtics either. I've never liked the Boston Celtics. Like when I was growing up, I looked at Celtics the same way I used to look at Duke. White boys on that team. Like it's a white ass team. Now, granted, it's been a lot of niggas on that team. Like you, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker. Then we all know the big three was like black people's favorite team at the time. I remember I was the only nigga rooting for Kobe in them finals. And now you got what they've got right now. But I don't like Boston either. But if I take the lesser of two evils, I'd rather see the Knicks lose. Having said all of that, I don't even think the Knicks are really playing well. Which is, if you're a Celtic player, if you're a Celtic coach, especially if you're a Celtic fan, you should be annoyed about. There should be a 2-0 series. Like honestly, there should be a 2-0 series right now heading to New York. But they just find a way to stick around, and let the Celtics make mistakes, which is usually what Celtics do to other teams. Is let them make mistake, which is what usually what championship teams do. Championship teams stay around and wait for you to mess up, and then when you mess up, they'll capitalize. That's what the Knicks have been doing. Now, this is why Game 3 is so important to me, because now you're the favorite. And the money line is moving in Vegas. Everybody's expecting you now to close this series out. This is the most important game in Madison Square Garden history in at least a quarter of a century. And if you go back to 1999, they got washed by the Spurs. So it's not like that was a close series either. So if you want to go, you might need to even go further for the last time. But the NBA Finals is important. So I'll say it's been 26 years since a game that will be of this importance that we're going to have in Madison Square Garden tomorrow. And crowd's going to be loud. There's going to be every New York celebrity you can imagine in your entire life is going to be courtside. But can they take advantage of that? I don't think this series is over. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. But as far as the Knicks, this is a golden opportunity. We went through the entire season saying, this don't look like the Knicks team of last year. They gave up too much depth. They gave up too much grit. They gave up too much defense for what Cat and Mikal Bridges bring. They have shown this is a different team. They got rid of the Pistons, and now they're doing the same thing to the Celtics. For me to believe that the Knicks can win this series, they have to win tomorrow. They have to win tomorrow. It is imperative for them to win tomorrow. Dante, what's your What's your thoughts on how the Knicks started this series, and how you got them going in tomorrow's game?
Oh no, I love it. I love it. Jalen Brunson's really been showing out. I still, I'm gonna always lean toward your best player can't be a smaller guard, but I mean he's fun to watch. He's clutch. We love players to step up in the big moments. And I'm actually excited for the Knicks fans because I mean, they owner is finally doing what our owner won't do, and that's spending to put a quality product on the court. Thibodeau, all the criticism he's received, he's well on his way to coaching himself into in Eastern Conference Finals. So I like to see it. And the Celtics have been disappointing. So I think if the Knicks win game 3, it might not go back to Boston. I think if they win game 3, they can't sweep them. If the Celtics win game 3, then I think it'll be Knicks in 5. But I think this is a team that very well can make that run to the NBA Finals because, the team that will be coming in, who I will get into that in a second, I think they'll be able to wrap them up rather quickly. It'll be entertaining. It'll be a lot of nostalgia. But I think that's another series that'll be over pretty quick. So I think the Knicks very well could be on their way to the finals.
Bang. What's your take on this series?
I don't want to see the Knicks win either. Like this, what the fuck? This is weird. But at the same time, when you look at how the Celtics are playing, and as you said, the Knicks ain't played their best game. Um, the fact that they have not played their best game and they're up two, um, yeah, this is the biggest Knicks home game in the playoffs. This is the biggest game in Madison Square Garden since what? The Houston Knicks
Yeah,
finals
right. So
that went seven.
this is hilarious, right? This is the most important game since the game that OJ
Yeah,
was running from the police.
yeah, it might be the most important game since what was that? June 14th, 1994, June
Yep.
whatever the name of the documentary is. Um, but yeah, this is wild that we're getting this out of the Knicks. They win game 3. This is over. If they win game 3, Boston might as well just not come out. Like start the bench players because this team has already shown that they're mentally fragile. Their superstar has shown that he probably is mentally fragile. So what they gonna do? Come out the game 4 and be like, okay, now we're about to shoot all of these threes. Now we're about to flame these cats. No, this is a wrap. And it's funny because before the Golden State Warriors, people would always say that you live and die by the three. Teams that just shoot jumpers and stuff like that all night long, they don't win championships. And then Steph and them won it. Now it looks like we're back to that because we have a team that went what number 2, who is considered the best team in the league, and they out here getting their ass beat by the tryhards. So yeah, they got to win game 3. If they don't win game 3, just start Peyton Pritchard and a whole bunch of other dudes because this series is over. However, what I will say is this, right? If they do lose tonight, being that I said that this team could be a little bit mentally fragile, maybe, just maybe, the Celtics get their hearts back.
Catch I'm Not Gonna Hold You, hosted by Scott Lewis, every Monday and Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, only on HNB Media and the Barbershop Network.